There may be nothing that causes a parent more guilt than breaking up their kid's family. And on top of that, there may be a desire to join our life to somebody else, but Dr. Laura, among others, has advised strongly against dating until your children are grown.
And what we think about that is, has she ever been in that position? We think if she hasn't, she doesn't get a vote.
We know that there are many complications and complexities to blended families. We acknowledge that. We have a blended family.
We have been in that position, and so here's our vote. Our vote is absolutely yes. You deserve to be happy and to have a companion to raise your children with. We have done a lot of personal work and personal growth, and we have seen and experienced enough in our own lives to know that this can be a very healthy and good thing for the kids who you are still raising.
I would say all of this with the caveat that if you know you cannot accept somebody else's children, then you need to make sure to marry someone that doesn't have any. If you have children, you need to make sure that whoever you marry or date is willing to accept your children should the relationship develop.
That is very important. So we don't say yes with no parameters. We say yes with the idea in mind that it's a good situation for you and your children.
Sometimes your children may harbor the secret fantasy that mom and dad are going to get back together. After my divorce from my second wife, my youngest son actually brought up that possibility. I thought he had long ago given up on that. And so it can be painful for our kids when they see us move on with another partner. But having said that, our kids also need to see that mom or dad is not just a service provider for them, but is also a human being with their own needs and wants and desires. They're not merely there to serve the child's needs. It's not just all about them.
And if you remain single the entire time your children are young, you do run the risk of relying on them maybe more than is healthy for a parent-child dynamic. We are meant to have partners, and that is a craving that we all long for as humans. Searching out healthy companionship with friends and also with potential companions is healthy for us and healthy for our dynamic with our own children.
Now you may say, I'm fine single, I'm emotionally secure, and I don't need a spouse to tell me that I'm a good, worthwhile person.
And
Well,
that
we
just
agree with
means
that.
you're in a great place to attract a companion who can be a healthy addition to your life rather than something you need in order to feel complete.
When I started dating, I told my kids, boys, it's time for me to start dating again. And I hope you'll like whoever I date and ultimately who I marry. And if you have concerns or questions or issues, feel free to raise those with me. I will listen to you. I will give serious consideration to anything you have to say. But having said that, you don't get a vote. It isn't your decision. I'm going to do what I think is best for me and for our family. That's my decision to make. And just as I will not try to decide who you're going to marry, I ask the same courtesy in return. Now, my boys are very accepting, and they were very good about accepting the role of every woman I dated in my life. The thing is, from the beginning, they never believed that they could tell me to date or not to date, or that they could run anybody out of my life.
I've gotten the impression they had fun.
They did. And sometimes it was like two families dating. Me and my dating partner would get together with all of our kids, and they made friends with the children of some of the kids, some of the women I dated. And in fact, they're friends with some of those people to this day. My sons remain Facebook friends with a bunch of my old dating partners and their kids.
My children were young enough that I didn't have a formal conversation, but I did approach it with the same philosophy that Jeff had. And we also had a lot of fun dating as families. And I think they would be sad if we had missed out on those opportunities to get to know other people and their children and those families that some of them we're still friends with.
If you decide that what you really want and what is best for you and your children is for you to remain single and pursue that after your children are grown, great. More power to you. I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong. What I am here to tell you is that dating and blending families while your children are still growing up can be a very positive experience. And it has been for us. I have 2 more sons now than I did when we got married because Cathy's kids have become family to me. And I think they've benefited from my influence.
It has been a big blessing to have him in our home, and I would not have wanted to miss that for anything.
So what we're telling you is that if it is your desire to date and socialize, we think that's a good thing. It helps also to prevent you from unduly relying on your kids to meet your social needs. And that can become a big burden for them if you're doing that.
And Jeff's children are grown, but it has been fun for me to be involved in their lives in the ways that we can as parents who have children who are grown and gone out of the house. And they've been very respectful and included me in the planning of special events like weddings and baby showers.
Approach it with appropriate precautions and with an attitude to including your kids in the process, but don't make your kids feel like they're running the house, like they have the final say over what you do in this regard.
We know you love your kids and you'll make good choices for yourself and your children.
And remember, any time is a great time for more love in your life.